so I'll begin. My name is Anton Gribanov. I'm a web developer. Well, I have more than 7 years of commercial web development experience. So several years ago, my colleagues and I, we organized some kind of a local user group devoted to web development. So we had several talks here in Vladimir State University devoted to web development, modern technologies, and some other things which we made it to share our experience and to learn new things from other developers from Vladimir. Well, today I'm going to talk about web development trends, because as far as I know, you are not a professional web developer, so it may be very hard to listen to some specialized topics. So my talk will be about general web development trends. Thank you for coming. So, this is short information about me. Currently I work as a web developer at imngn.com. This is a San Francisco-based startup. It has a development team in Russia, so we are a remote development team. This startup helps landlords to manage their properties, and it's very interesting work. We have a lot of interesting and challenging tasks. That's all that I can say about it, because actually we have some trends in development that are rather modern, and I will tell you later in my talk what trends we are up to in imngn.com. So basically, web is evolving, it's changing, and it's changing very fast. So please raise your hands who have smartphones and access internet from your mobile phones. So not so much people here, but according to scientists, the overall percentage of accessing internet from mobile phone is more than 30% in general in the whole world. In Russia it's slightly less, it's about 20%, but recently I have a talk with my colleague from badu.com. It's a dating website, maybe one of the largest in the world, and he said that they have about 50% of users that come from mobile phone. Actually, this trend changes everything. On mobile phone you usually have small screens, so to interact with the sites the controls should be bigger. Mobile phones are powered by batteries, so some of new technologies they require more computing power than the previous ones. So sometimes these things have to be optimized not to make the battery last very small amount of time. This is the graph of different platforms share. As you can see, Android phones is rising, iPhones is about the same. Well, different phones also support different features, so this changes a lot also. One of the modern trend is to make one site for all devices. This is called responsive web design. So several years ago, maybe the usual thing was to make, for example, one version for desktop browsers, this is so-called the full version, and another version for mobile browsers, or as it was before, WAP browsers, and so on, with very simplified markups, with less visual effects, and sometimes even with less functions. So now, modern phones are very fast and powerful. You can use different effects, different visual effects, and different new tricks on mobile phones, and this is a trend also. All this evolving of mobile phones help the situation very much. Another modern trend is clouds. I think you have heard about it. Well, actually, the cloud is the delivery of a computing as a service rather than of a product. Actually, you are given some amount of computing power, well, and you don't know exactly what's happening inside the thing you have bought. That's why it's called in the cloud. It's called the cloud, so basically you can't see what's really happening there. Different cloud storages, like for example iCloud for iPhone and other devices, other manufacturers, they have the similar solutions. So this is a trend also. Cloud hosting is one of the web development trends. For example, such services like Amazon, they provide different cloud solutions. One of the advantages of cloud is the thing that you can pay only for what you use. So if you need more power, you pay more money. If you don't need it, you pay less. And the thing is, it can be adjusted dynamically along with the number of visitors you have on your site. One of the consequences of cloud solutions is the development of different things as a service. For example, it can be software as a service, it can be a platform as a service, it can be infrastructure as a service. So the thing is that you usually rent access. You don't buy the whole software, you don't need to have your own server to install it, you just pay your monthly fee and you get access to the things you need. For example, in case of infrastructure, you usually get access to virtual machines. It's also a trend, but it's I don't think it's a web development trend. It's the whole thing in computing. When you pay for example, platform as a service, you get access to such things, for example, as storage as a service, database as a service, and similar things. So you don't rent, for example, a server, you don't need to hire an administrator for it, you just have your credentials and you can connect to it, and you can have a different service quality, which is usually well presented by the product owners before you buy. So you can buy, for example, guaranteed quality of well so I just forgot the word of the word. You can just buy different quality, and you don't need to think about what's under this, what's inside, and well, in different cases this is just simpler for the users. Software as a service is well the thing that you can maybe even met in your life already. It's just different photo sharing hostings, or some things like Google Drive. This is software as a service also. Well, the advantage is simple. You have a mass solution which is usually cheaper than if you buy the whole thing for yourself. Another web development trend is single login profiles. This came from from the popular topic of usability, when now, well, the websites, the web developers are crazy about making life of the user easier, because there are concurrency in different topics. So you need to make your user happy, you need not to make their life difficult, because users give you money. So one of the things is that different sites, they just abandoned user registration, so you don't need to fill your profile form, you don't need to think about your username, or if your username is already taken, you don't need to think about another one, you don't need to remember or generate your password. You can just use your existing accounts in different social networks, usually social networks, to sign into your account on this service. Well, this is rather comfort for users, because a couple of clicks and you are signed in, and you, well, in fact you can save, for example, a couple of minutes, but if you have different millions of users in total, this is a rather large amount of time. Another thing, another modern trend is different application programmable interfaces, API. There is a site, programmableweb.com, which is a directory of different APIs. They try to keep up to date their information, so this is the number of APIs on the end of 2013 year. It's a little bit more than 10,000 or 10,000. So yesterday I checked, and they have more than 11,000 APIs. Actually, API is a thing you can use to access another services. It's pretty much standardized, and well, there are different libraries which allow you to use other site services. Actually, today you can well, program a site where you can store your users in one place, you can store users' files in another place, you can upload the pictures and resize them with the help of the third-party services, you can send emails. Well, actually, these sites that are using different APIs, they are usually called mashups. And well, today you can actually do everything with the help of the third-party services. One of the trend is to using REST in APIs. REST stands for representational state transfer. Well, actually, this is just something over HTTP, the usual method to communicate between different servers in internet. Well, some people gathered and they decided, so let us make some rules, and we call it REST. And lots of developers, they try to satisfy these rules because they are pretty well simple, and there are few of them. For example, if you can get these rules are about URIs and universal resource identifiers and HTTP methods which allow to access to different objects on the remote site. For example, if you want to retrieve a collection of resources, this can be user files, user images, maybe emails, subscribers list, or something like that. You have to access such kind of an URI. If you need to get the information about one certain element, you need to form the URL based on the second line. Also, this if you are REST compatible, you should use get, post, put and delete methods. A get method is used to retrieve information, post method is used to change the information, put method is used to add information, and delete is used to delete. Basically, this are much like CRUD operations over databases. Another trend in API is using JSON to transfer data between well, the connected sites. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Well, I can say this is a rather new trend, because before usually XML was broadly used. Well, in comparison with XML, JSON is more simple, and it has less well, redundant things, like they don't have, for example, the closing tags, which sometimes can double the amount of traffic transferred. So this is a sample JSON file. In JSON usually they have only several data types like boolean, strings, objects, arrays, and numbers. And every information can be coded using only these data types. And it's also human readable as XML. You can just read it and understand what's there. Despite this is called JavaScript object notation, it's not necessary that any of the communicating system is written in JavaScript or can support it. It's just a format, and it's well, it's widely used, and I think it's now used more and more nowadays. Well, another web development trend is security. Well, maybe now it's more and more popular because the more people use internet, the more another bad people try to spoil their usage or try to get the information about them, or well, earn money on this stolen information. So one of the popular trends is to use HTTPS. This is just secured HTTP protocol, and well, it's widely used. It was a must for example, payment processing when you enter your credit card details in the internet. Now it's used more and more, and even search engines like Google, they prefer sites which use this secured protocol. And well, not long time ago, Google said that if you use secure transfer, your site will be upper in the search results, and this means a lot for different commercial organizations. So this is a trend also. Two-factor authentication. Again, Google presented well, I guess a year or two. Well, this thing is when if you need to log in to the service, you need not only your password, but you need a confirmation form or confirmation code, which is usually obtained by another transport. For example, like phones, you can get it in SMS or push notification, or even a phone call, and only if you have your password and the authentication code, you can access the server. Big data. Well, again, the more users visit internet, the more users use internet, the more data they live there, and all this data is stored. So new technologies, they need to be able to process this data, and this sometimes can be hard. For example, for different big companies, again like Google, or maybe social networks, when you need to store the relations between objects, which are users, likes, different posts, different statistics data, weather and scientific data. They also can be, it also can be referred as a big data, and this is also a trend. For example, well, processing statistical data can lead to some, well, for us maybe funny consequences. There was a case in the United States, as I remember, when one internet shop, one girl used this internet shop. She made different purchases there, and one time she got an email where she was proposed to buy different things for young mothers. So this shop software, they analyzed her statistical data of purchases, and they predicted her pregnancy. It was some kind of scandal. Well, big data also includes such terms as NoSQL, MapReduce, and Hadoop. Well, NoSQL is a class of databases which use different internal storage models different to usual SQL. MapReduce is a technique that is used to process different data. Hadoop is an open source engine that is used, which is open source and is it can be used to process big data. Well, I can say that in usual web development you are not going to meet the big data unless you work in a giant corporation like Google or Yahoo or Facebook maybe, but such things as NoSQL databases, they can be used in well, small web applications like, for example, shops or well, forum softwares and other things you can meet every day in internet. Actually, there are different kinds of NoSQL which are tailored to different use cases, but again, it's more specialized information, and I'm not going to talk about it. Single-page apps. Well, another trend is to reduce user waiting time, again user interaction, make user pleased, and to reduce generated traffic for corporations. Because if you, for example, have 10 users a day, this is not a problem. If you have 10 million users a day, saving several bytes can lead to a significant amount of money. So single-page app is an application which is loaded one time, and again, if you are clicking any links or making other actions or interaction with it, your page is not reloaded full. You just load the necessary data or maybe necessary templates. Well, actually, if you are using this website, you are staying on one page all the time, and these applications, they are usually faster and more responsive, and well, users usually prefer them. As an example, I think you used Russian social network ВКонтакте. It can be called single-page app because simple example, when you turn on the music, you navigate through the whole website and the music doesn't interrupt. It is not loaded every time, so this is single-page app. As another example, Twitter can be made a single-page app also, because once you load it and you go through different pages, basically only necessary amount of data is loaded each time you click on the link. Well, single-page apps, they appeared due to JavaScript due to JavaScript frameworks. So the most well popular are AngularJS, Backbone, Ember, and Knockout. If you are interested in it, just well remember some of these names and find another information about it. Well, the thing is that is well, I guess more easy to understand it, design trends, because you can see everything that I'm going to talk about. Well, responsive design, I have told about it in mobile section. So you have the same page, you have the same layout, and when you access it from different devices, it looks different. So this is an example of the site where the pictures are shrinked. For example, the menu can change the position, the layout can change from several columns to one, for example. This is called responsive design. Flat design also, I guess this came with with Windows 8, I guess, which introduced this flat design. This is also a trend because before it was, well, shadows were used. This different controls were like, for example, emulation of 3D, but now flat design is a trend also. Typography, it's very popular among designers and different well, presentational sites. Actually, it's some kind of making fancy fonts. Well, the fonts are different and creative, and well, you can just say wow when you look at it. Large photo backgrounds, again, with the development of internet, with raising access speeds, placing large photos on the websites is no longer pain when you have to download it for several seconds or tens of seconds. So, well, using large pictures is a trend also. By the way, you can see well, a menu icon there, so most likely this site is also responsive, so when you will access it from your mobile device, this picture will be well, shrinked, or maybe you will even see another version of picture which is less in size and optimized for your mobile, which is also a trend. Infinite scroll, I think you saw it on Facebook when you do scroll the page and another post from the timeline, they keep loading and loading, and well, actually it's a challenge to reach the end of the timeline. So this is a new trend also. Well, it's used in different sites, for example in LiveJournal on some pages there's infinite scroll also. Long shadows. Well, it's not visible here. I guess I have a bad. Well, it's, you can see a long shadow on this icon. A little bit of shadow. Well, shame on me. I didn't test it my presentation on a projector, so you have to believe me. It's a design trend also. Well, also my talk is almost finished. So there are different several sites I wanted to show you. They all use built-in web camera in the notebooks. So they are all made with JavaScript. So you don't. The thing is that you don't need to install different software. You can just open the site and see what you can do here, or what you can do in your browser. So let me try to use it now. I think I have internet connection somewhere. So just enable access to your web camera. So this application, it locates your face. You can see across on my face, and by moving your head you can adjust the position. It's some kind of a game. You need to, well, fly away those dots and not to hit them. So as you can see, I can move my head, and well, the position of the player is also moving. Oops, like this. So it's again, it's plain JavaScript. You don't need any software to use it. Another thing, well, this one doesn't work anytime, so you can just turn the pages by waving your hand. So this is again, this is again no additional software. This one substitutes the face of the person looking at the webcam. So it found my face, so I can be. Like Mona Lisa, I don't know. And this one, the first one, doesn't use webcam. It's well, I don't know how to name it. Well, I ask you to be. This is the thing. You can some kind of music cube. You can well make your music. It's I don't know how it's called in English. So
this is JavaScript only.
Yes,
right?
this is only JavaScript, so you can compose your music or even well record it in your browser.
So and it works on any mobile devices.
It works on modern mobile devices, so I guess it can work on iPhones, the latest models, and well, on the latest Google Chrome. I guess that's all. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
What does this iManagement do?
Well, iManagement is a service for building owners who, well,
let me help you.
Well, let my colleague answer this question.
My name is Victor. I'm colleague of Anton. And we are working in iManagement. iManagement is an online software for property managers, first of all, and for landlords and tenants. So we want to combine all things that can happen in property management area and do everything in internet. So if you want to find tenants and make money, if you have some units, some apartments, you can in US you can easily create some listings, some ads, and find we help you to find the tenants. We also can we help you to receive money from your tenants and all other things. If, for example, somebody will broke your window in your unit, in your apartment, we find a service provider for you who will fix it. So we do some service for property management area. So this is a management. So based in San Francisco. Main office located in San Francisco. We are developers. We are located here in Vladimir. So and this is a good example for everybody, for students. That's right now with if you are internet developer, if you're web developer, it's very easy for you to find a job in anywhere, and it's not necessary for you to be in Silicon Valley. For example, you can be here on, I don't know, in Germany, in Greece, India, China, anywhere. You can traveling and you can work. So this is some kind of freedom. And I just want to ask, so any other questions to Anton?
This programmerweb.com.
page? Is it a directory for REST services or what?
It's a directory for APIs. It's not necessarily REST enabled. REST is only a thing you form the URLs.
Okay, so also SOAP.
Yes, I saw SOAP APIs, XML RPC APIs. There's a good search engine there, and well,
Okay,
different
all APIs are free?
I cannot tell you exactly for sure. Well, all the APIs I saw, they were free.
And you say they have a good section.
Yes, you can. Well, for example, they have a good directory that is categorized, so you can find financial APIs, weather APIs, for example, reality APIs. We are using several APIs in our project, and you can just search for keywords. You can enter the site you are interested in the search field, and they will tell you if they do have API or not.
Okay, thank you.
I have some technical question. Maybe you told us about the responsive design, okay? As I know, several sites made a mobile version of the site, yeah, and other sites can add some code to this site, full desktop site, and that I can view on my mobile device, right? And my question is, which is way better, add to code or to make another site for mobile version?
Well, it's we have this question.
Good question.
We are struggling now with this problem on iManager end, and well, we decided to make some kind of combined solution because mobile responsive web design is good for different presentational websites where you only need to show the user information. When you need to get the information from users, for example, they need to fill different forms, upload files, or somehow interact with the page, it's a way more difficult to make a responsive website. Because not only you need to make 2 pages, you need to make them with the same layout, the same HTML code. It's just, significantly more work. So we have different pages. Some of the pages are responsive on our service, and some we have different templates for them.
So actually, for us, for developers, I don't know. I just want to tell you about our experience with responsive design. When we reach a problem that we have a lot of users from mobile device. But we provided only desktop version, and we didn't have a mobile version before, and we decided and we started to make research what's better, responsive design or mobile version. For me as a developer, and for us at all, of course it would be better to have responsive design, because when we are working on backend part, so we are working on a server. PHP developers we are at all, yeah. And of course, for us it's more easy when web designer, and HTML layout designer, they work together, and they don't need our help at all. So, and once a designer creates a web design, he already makes it responsive, so he provides version for mobile. But in reality, how we got it, it's a problem, because we actually get a fight between HTML layout designer and web designer, because every time when web designer draws something, HTML layout designer gets in trouble. When HTML layout designer said to web designer, please, I cannot implement this or this, web designer were mad. And we decided to stop using responsive design. We prefer to have 2 different versions, mobile version and desktop version. So right now we have 2 different versions. For us it's just more easy to support, because when you have responsive design, unfortunately you will get a lot of troubles on different devices. It's just very hard to debug it. And sometimes we have, for example, in our project, we have really difficult interfaces in some place, and it's not so easy to just transform it to mobile version. So as for me, responsive design is more things like Anton said, for presentation, maybe for some landing pages. But responsive design will never change, you know, mobile versions. And as you can see, most of bigger sites like Facebook, I don't know, in our area it's like Trulia and other sites, Zillow, they use responsive solutions but not so often. So they still continue to using already old solution mobile version. So it's just an example from our experience. We just finished with this trouble. So, any questions? Кто-нибудь из русских что-нибудь понял?
Я понял.
Отлично. So, if nobody have any questions, I just want to ask you, does anybody wants to be a web developer or wants to work in the internet, or you are, what's kind of specialties you are learning in university? So, okay, first question, who wants to be a web developer? You already web developer, I know. So guys, this is there, okay. So nobody else? Ah, you, okay. So, first of all, yeah, I don't know. We actually, as Anton said already, we sometimes ago, every week, we met here in Vladimir State University. We invited all web developers that we know who located here in Vladimir, and every week we had seminars like we have today, and we just discussed more deep level problems and more technical details in our seminars. So I just want to invite you to our group in Contact. What? No, I forgot. Show me. Actually, we just want to. We have a delay. Actually, we didn't work last year, but in this year we want to start again to work. And yeah, web-tech. Yeah, right. So I just want to invite somebody who is interested in. So this is the address of our group on internet. So here Russian people can ask, can find previous videos with previous seminars where you can find some interesting information for you. You can talk with us, and especially for people who live here in Vladimir, who wants to be a web developer. We invite to this group, and we can say that probably we can sometime we can give you a job, because we have to tell the truth, professional web programmer will never be without job, because right now not especially here in Vladimir, it's a big trouble to find a good developer. Because, I don't know, in our university, you know, we don't have any specialties, as I know for right now, that prepare web developers. And we invite people who wants to be a web developer to our group. Let's continue to talk. And we invite, in this group, you can find other seminars that I hope we will have in this year here. So, and